Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Great, man. Thanks for asking. My
Yeah, of
name's
course.
Thaddeus, and obviously I'm calling with the Struxtures podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, yeah, of course. My name is Johan Fredrik Källman, and I live in Sweden right now. I'm in Slovenia at me and my fiance's apartment we have here, and yeah, I'm a light artist for work, and I do a lot of also experimental music with my analog synths.
Perfect. Yeah, man. I appreciate you reaching out to with your interest to be on the show, man. I love it, and I really like what I saw of your recent uh, tour. Your visit to the states and Canada, and what you're doing with your lights. Would you like to talk about that for a little bit?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm a light artist, and I have an installation that's called Lux Triplicata, and it's basically glass prisms that I put on a plate and shine light on them. And when that happens, all the colors from our color spectrum appears. So it's a very simple installation that I often present on light festivals around the world. Like now, for example, I was in California last week in Oakland and presented it, and two or 3 weeks before that, we're in Calgary in Canada and presented it. So yeah, that's what I do for a living, so to speak, with my art, traveling with that artwork that is Lux Replicata. So it's something I actually come up with now since 2018. I invented that installation, and I've been doing the same since then, kind of the same style
Nice.
setup.
That
Yeah.
that's really cool, man. You're really blessed to be able to do that like you are, man. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, I'm thanking everything for it each day. Also, but I also like to be in a context with light art, because it often presented outside of the galleries. It can actually meet people that doesn't visit galleries often, so it gets to meet a lot of different people thanks to be presenting outside in cities and parks and stuff that it often is presented. So I like much more to work with that when you meet not like arty people. Might sound a little cliche, but I'm a really regular guy myself. So come from a working background also. I worked as a carpenter for 10 years before I applied to art university in Sweden. So
Oh, that's cool, man. Fun fact: I've spent many years in carpentry myself and building houses and all kinds of stuff like that.
oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. It's a nice work, but it's really hard on your body. And in Sweden, it was really early hours like
Yeah,
this, and winter time. And yeah, you know exactly how it is. So
exactly. That's why I said I used to do it.
yeah.
it it was a great experience and I learned a lot, but I decided
Mm.
I didn't want to get old doing that. You know.
No, no, exactly. So, but I have a lot of, it builds up a working morale, for example, that I have very useful now in as an artist, and also be able to be handy a little, to fix your stuff. I remember from art school, most people there couldn't even, hang a painting on the wall, because they can't drill in concrete, for example.
Right. Can't drill
So,
in concrete or don't know how to find a stud on a framed wall. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So
That's
never
cool.
had to be nervous for that kind of stuff, to hang
Yeah.
and stuff.
Some people look at you like you know magic when you do things like that, you know?
Oh yeah, exactly. So I'm really grateful for the experience and to be blessed to know a little about how to build houses and stuff like that.
Yeah, likewise, man. That's cool. I didn't know we had that in common. That's pretty cool. So, tell
Yeah.
us about where it started for you. I guess let's talk about the music first. What age were you getting into your interest in music and playing music? And just tell us about your journey.
Oh yeah. I would say it started when I was around late teens, like 1920. I started first to play guitars and formed my first punk rock band that we had, and then I kept on like buying different instruments, like drums and bass and some synths and stuff like that. And kind of, I play pretty many instruments, but I don't play anyone really like that, but I can master a couple of them,
Yeah.
learn through the years. So my journey has been really DIY, because it was also before YouTube and stuff. I'm born 83, so I'm 41 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I was that age, around when I started, you couldn't find like on YouTube wasn't existing like how to do stuff. So you have to learn everything yourself. Like
How
we
did we
bought
do
the
it?
analog mix. No, I mean, but it was fun also, man.
It
In a
was.
way.
No, I relate,
Yeah,
man. I was born in '80, so I remember growing up without computers and cell phones, and now I have them. You know, it's a our generation is one that saw that change and bridged that gap. So,
yeah, exactly. We
yeah,
have both of it. So it's really interesting to be born to actually be able to see the changes
yeah,
now that happens. So I don't want to be a teen right now. I can say that. So.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I'm happy I was born when I was, and I had the experiences I did. So,
Yeah.
so you
Think
started out with the guitar, drums, and doing the punk rock stuff. When did you get into the synthesizers?
it was during COVID actually, because everything got shut down. You
Yeah.
couldn't like interact with so many people. So actually, then was in school then university, but since everything was on Zoom, like online, I'm a farmer's boy from a little small town called Munkedal. So I actually moved out of town, Gothenburg, there back to my parents and to help them also. They're a little older.
Mm.
But then I wanted to take the chance of this kind of lockdown is then to learn something. And I always find the analog synths like that really amazing but don't know shit about it, or didn't. So I ordered some Volcas from my student loan money.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, and then I watched YouTube. That was luckily it was around that time then.
yeah,
Some show videos how to do that, and I started and I really fell in love with it, like how you can do experimental stuff. And I love sound in general, always done like
yeah.
sound art and all these weird things you can do like frequencies and stuff. So
Absolutely,
uh, so
man.
around so around that time, when COVID struck, so yeah, 2019, 2020 there, went into that. And it went, I become uh, I think I have a lot of good that I played so much punk rock in a way like that, because I build my songs. I found out very different than I almost build my electronic songs like punk rock. I intro, verse,
Yeah,
then a refrain, then. So I kind of make actually songs on them, comparing to a lot of inspiration that I have. That is like sound artists that have get more grande soundscapes, kind
hmm,
of. So
yeah. That's really interesting, and again, I relate on that point too, man. Throughout my journey, I've realized I'm not as much of a songwriter or even a music fan as I am just a big nerd about sound. You know, I just love
oh yeah.
all the different things you can do and different sounds you can make, and that's what led me to synth as well. Just all the
Oh,
sound
cool.
design
Yeah, actually,
possibilities. Yeah.
I actually had a student radio show for 5 seasons about sound art, where I had a half an hour and talked about different sound art through the times. Then, like one theme could be example like sound as weapon, how they can
Hmm.
use for sonic bombing, or these mosquitoes, awful things they can have over 7-Elevens, for example. These frequencies that only teens hear, that you stop to hear in a certain age because your ears getting older and stuff like that. So it's so much interesting in sound in general, except music.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, and
so
it
yeah.
seems like it's one of the building blocks of the universe, you know, the
Oh
sound
yeah.
frequency. It feels like you're tapping into something beyond art, you know?
Oh yeah. It goes so long back, also. I think it comes from way back, that like tribe stuff. Like way back, you're sitting around a campfire and kind of humming,
Yeah.
or stomping the BPM. I think it's in us, these frequencies that you talked about also. Like it's so much sound, that is more important than we think. I think because you hear with some, in my opinion, you hear with your whole body. You
Mm-hmm.
know, your whole, because you can feel sounds really in your, yeah, not just with your ear. Hard to explain the feeling, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm getting at. I
Yeah,
guess that.
absolutely. Yeah, you hear it, you feel it, you experience it. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
totally. So when did you get on with your get into the light art?
it was actually my studies, like I have a master's degree in fine art photography. That was my university education. And I really, really suck at cameras. I don't know at all how to like photo for real with all the settings and stuff, especially analog. But I found out a way pretty early that you can do camera-less photography, that you work right on the papers, that you don't have to have like a developer and all that kind of fancy equipment.
You
Because my
cut
first idea,
you cut out for just a second. You said you can photo uh without film. Is that what you said?
yeah,
Or
exactly. You work right on you have to be in a dark room then, but you work right on the photosensitive paper.
oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh, and then, long story short, like in the idea, when I find out how sucky I am at camera, I try to take pictures of these prisms that I use
Yeah.
in my installation, and they didn't turn out good or anything. And then one teacher told me, like, why don't you put it here in the gallery as a installation and call it cameraless photography? And I was like, what? You can do that?
Yeah.
Kind of. And from that day on, I just kept on doing that installation. And it's so like I said, what gets me into light art, my first like kind of experience of it was that it was so nice that it can meet like people like me in a way, because I always felt a little, it's a little, you know, uptight in art school, like,
Yeah.
and a little everyone. And people that visit galleries, nothing against them, but I like that the art can meet whoever, from a little kiddo that are like 2, 3 that can appreciate my artwork too. If you want, you can make it really theoretical, physical, because it is actually a scientific explanation behind the prism, how they work. So I think that's what got me into it. It was so broad also, and it's so simple to travel the world. You know, I put my installation in my checked-in luggage, while my colleagues that I meet on this festival, they ship their stuff, you know, in containers and have to rig it for 2 weeks ahead
Yeah.
with laser projectors and whatever. So the simplicity really got me into it.
That's neat.
I
Yeah.
guess yeah, I guess I'm not lazy, but you know,
Efficient.
uh,
You like to be efficient.
yeah, yeah.
So
So that was the weird story, like kind of, if it made sense, how I get into light art.
no, yeah, yeah, it makes total sense. And I've seen a couple clips that you shared on Instagram of your installation. And if it's not too difficult, could you explain your setup for that for someone that hasn't seen it, so they can get an idea?
Oh yeah. It's yeah, I think on English it called a lazy Susan. You know, this spinning plate, almost like a turntable, but it's the purpose of it is gently to have you know, food on, and you can spin it
Mm-hmm.
like as a serving plate.
Yeah.
And on that's lazy Susan, I put like to between 10 to 15 these cube-shaped little glass prisms.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a light source, flashlight with white light that shines on them. And when white light hits the prism, all these colors emerge, the rainbow colors on the plate. And it also become a 360-degree projection that reach up to 100 feet almost.
Wow.
So, yeah. And if people want to see it, it just to Google the name, Lux triplicata, like Lux triplicata, like Lux triplicata.
Okay.
And then they can see it if they want,
Yeah.
the listeners. So.
I like how it has a it's not exactly like this, but it reminds me almost of a kaleidoscope effect. The way
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the way the light goes hits the different blocks. Yeah,
Hmm.
really neat. And it showed so big on the wall. Is that just a
Yeah.
natural reaction, or do you don't use some kind of projector to enlarge it? Do you?
No, no, no. It's just a regular flashlight, like with. Yeah, it's good if you have a flashlight with zoom function, because then you can get a little focus on them also.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a regular flashlight. Because first, I just when I first invented this stuff, I was just looking at the plate down, because that's pretty mesmerizing itself. So it took a while until I looked up from it and looked around in the room I was, like, holy fuck, it's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
also it's around 360. So
Yeah, very cool. Have you ever done installations and played music with it as well at the same time?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I actually did one when I have them on two of these Lazy Susans, and I use them as DA turntables. I also have a little thing called light modulator. It calls, and easy explain that is it's a little sun panel that is attached to a speaker, so you can transfer sound waves via light waves.
That
Uh,
sounds totally fascinating.
Yeah, and that's also really cool if it's yeah, also on my website, for example, to see this when I walk through it also and explains a little. But it's pretty cool to me that also because it's like how radio waves works, because also light waves can carry information, so you can actually send sound with light. That is extraordinary to me also. So.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's fascinating. I love the science behind it and how you can make art from it. I just love that
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, me too. I like when they collide, because these days it feels like they are too separated. I felt that in art school, because if you look back in history, art and science were very close to each other. And then it get more and more separated in a way that science don't want to deal with art and art don't want to deal with science. And then I think they're much closer to each other than many times people realize.
Yeah.
And it's also a little funny with my installation. I like to talk about them a little. Like it's become also, if of course the visitor is open to learn a little, but it's pretty funny to also get to learn something if you meet an installation,
Yeah.
and not just have to dwell in that. It often become like an artist's self absorption of showing how great they are,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And with the speaking of how the convergence, or in some cases, people want to separate science and art. Like the art is a uniquely human element of it. So, how has your art journey? How has that corresponded with your life, your personal growth? Your spiritual awareness, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, I think it's for me has been a little like first. I don't like it took a while until I called myself like an artist, so to speak, with it, because it comes so much other things with it. If you like, I have none of my friends are artists, so to speak. Like my fiance also works with art like that, but
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm often in a context where we don't sit down and discuss Van Gogh, for example.
Right.
So for me, it was like it was really important to me to show to people that you can be an artist and be, if you can say a thing, like a normal dude, or so to speak. You don't have to be. It's always this, a cliche idea of an artist that you're really depressed, you're really dark, this.
Yeah. Are you there? Hello?
The family like that, but yeah, hello.
Yeah, I just lost you for just a second. Yeah, you were saying you don't have to be a
All
dark
right.
and depressed artist, and then I lost you.
All right, yeah. So that's the kind of with the art I don't like, as I, especially in art school, see so much of this stuff when people search for agony, for example,
Right.
when you fake something that is that awful, because if you are really depressed and stuff like that, you don't often, like people I know that have it, it's nothing you want to show so much, for example. It's not a cool thing that it becomes a little trendy, I felt in a while, to have this darkness in it. And I want to show a place where you can also have fun with art, where you can happy because you can interact with my installation. For example, you are allowed to touch it
Perfect.
and stuff. I want to show the opposite kind of the stereotype. And I think that's a big reason why it has worked for me, stuff, because it is, I'm pretty simple like that
Yeah.
in the comparing to a lot of colleagues.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. So it's kind of through your art, you've developed a way to express the feelings and the perspectives that you appreciate, rather than locking yourself into the depressed artist type, you know, cliche.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good, man.
precisely, precisely, and also to be. I think it's also as a, if you're an artist in somewhat, I consider you have some kind of responsibility to give something back what you do as for a living. Like
Yeah,
I think as a persons we have responsibilities also to do what we do, and that should come back good to people a lot of times. So that's what I want to do with my art, to kind of share it and try to feed positivity back into society. Now it sounds like I'm on high horses, but
no, man, it
that
doesn't.
kind of idea.
No, I get it, and I really appreciate that, and I hold the same sentiment. You know, there's enough sadness in the world, and even as individuals, we deal with it on our own as well. But I can choose what I put out there, not just with art, but just with my mood, my vibe. You know, the way I interact with people, and it's not that I'm trying to
Yeah,
be fake
exactly.
or hide the truth, but I just choose as often as I can to highlight the good things and the joy and the love in life. You know.
Yeah, I think that's why draw me to your podcast first. When I saw it and checked it out a little, I get that vibe without a meeting you in person. I get that vibe that it's a positive thing going on like that. How
I'm glad that comes
it's a
through,
good
man.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you very much. I'm glad that comes through for sure.
yeah.
And I like just to put it in context for the listener. Like, we don't hardly know each other. Like, you approached me about being on an episode, and I was like, right on. And I felt your vibe too, you know, and it was just good, man. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, me too, man. So I'm so grateful for you having me on. I was like, oh shit, I gotta try to send to this dude. I don't know if it was proper message to you. Even it was like, hey, put me on your podcast or
No, man,
something.
I don't mind it at all. I think most episodes I've reached out to folks, but uh, you and one other had approached me, and I really like that because uh, first of all, it makes me feel good that someone's interested in it, of course, but also it, like you said, you noticed the positivity, you noticed what I was trying to do, and so if someone approaches me to be a part of that, then obviously we're on the same page, you know. So it's going to be a good time. So I'm always down. So
Yeah.
anyone else listening, if you want to have an interview and share the positivity of art with the world, then hit me up. It's good stuff.
You do that. You do that, listeners.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So what do you got going on in the currently or in the near future with your projects?
Yeah, right now I released my album in August, like the Donut Valley, that is, yeah, recorded on my Korg Volcas, that probably all of you listeners know what it is, so I
Oh
don't
yeah.
need to explain them so much.
It was
uh,
my first little synth as well, Volca.
I, and I made a thing of that to record everything live in live sessions. So I could be like, 90% in a song, and then I fucked it up at the end, pushed
Yeah.
wrong drum beat and had to start all over again. But that was really important to me. I think it come a little from the punk rock, maybe back when I was younger and I didn't have a mixer table to record everything on separate channels. So,
Yeah, yeah.
better nail it than one. So yeah, that's released on a label in New York called Move Quiet Records, where people can check it out. It's a cassetta that I released. So that I'm working on right now as a current project, to record little videos that you see and stuff like that to promote it a little.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also preparing. Me and my fiance live both in Sweden and Slovenia, so we travel between there, and we're soon going back to Sweden because she has an exhibition in Sweden, and I also have another light festival in Sweden in November. So that is what is right now.
Where is your November show? There in Sweden?
It's yeah, in a town called Strömstad. It's a little town on the west coast of Sweden, like 10 miles from where I grew up. So it's almost a homecoming show. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I hope you have
Hmm.
some old friends and family and acquaintances that show up. That'd be
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. That is also what I'm looking forward to, 'cause especially my parents that now getting a little older like that to actually, I can show pictures from San Francisco shows, whatever. It's still not. It's nice to can invite loved ones to actually come and see the
Yeah.
stuff live in a way. So.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Just to be able to share what you love doing with people that you love, that's a special thing.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what's up now, and also going. It's like a very seasonal light artist. You get that in a way because we're often outside, and it's like the dark half of the year, so to speak. It's starting September and goes on to February. Kind of is when I work most with it, the shows, so to speak. So I'm trying to make enough money at that time so I can chill a little on the rest half of the year. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
because I'm also that I have to mention. I think I'm also a beekeeper.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah, together with my dad, a little hobby. Is we have like 10 hives now, I think, but still just hobby level. So I really love that on summer also to be connected. Those I did a lot of sound art with actually to record the bees and stuff to try to take away frequencies and stuff and listen to them in different settings. I
that's
put
cool. I was going to
yeah, I
ask you
put
actually.
yeah, I
Yeah,
put just a mic outside of the hive kind of and let them bust, and it's so interesting that they sound different comparing which season it is, so to speak. You can hear different in the what they call the buzz in it, like
yeah,
the frequencies of them.
yeah.
Uh, so it's kind of a meditative sound also when you just listen to it.
I
So
bet. Do you know or do you can you guess that why they sound different in the seasons? Is it just the temperature, or is it because they're doing different things in the hive? Do you know?
yeah, I think it is because they're doing different things in the hive. Like when we harvest the honey, for example, of course they pissed off a little because you're basically taking
Yeah, yeah,
food away. So then you can hear, in my opinion at least, the different frequencies are more tensed, so
yeah,
to speak,
yeah.
comparing to when I was sitting and listen to them. Oh yeah, on daytime. Then it's more a calmer vibe on it.
Have you ever tried contact mics on directly on the hive or on
No,
the?
that's what I want to do. I have contact mic, so that's my summer plan actually.
Oh, cool. And I want to go back for a second because you mentioned the working in the dark. Is it? Forgive my ignorance, but is in Sweden is there a lot of darkness in the winter? Do you have really short days or?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's totally different comparing to summer. I'm a little luckier living on the west coast then, because we have, for example, up north in Sweden, that's the first north you can get in the world. So let's say on the winter half of year, they don't have any sun at all, during daytime. On the
Okay.
winter, it's dark when during winter time. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
and so in summertime, it's the opposite.
Right. That's what I was
Well,
thinking, but I wasn't for sure, so I wanted to ask because
uh,
yeah, because I know
no, no, not so.
in the states, Alaska is much further north and separated from the rest of the U.S. and it's like that. They have a lot of long dark winter.
Yeah, yeah. But still, it's like in light show context, they always start 1 hour early, in my opinion. They always start at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And for my work to be at peak, I need, to have, it needs to be sun, at least getting darker.
Right, right. And
So
that,
they're often a little early.
yeah, and that's what I was leading to with that question was if you the how you perform, later at night and in the dark and outdoors.
Uh,
Ha,
yeah.
when you work outdoors, do you shine your light through your prisms and your installation? Does it go on against a wall, or do you do it under a tree canopy? What kind of settings have you tried?
Oh, I tried a bunch of them. Like most common is that it is some kind of, house facade or something like that. But for example, now in California, I presented it in Oakland in a botanical garden, like gardens at Lake Merritt. So then it also become a different structures, of course, in nature when these colors come on. Yeah, in this case, then some palm trees and stuff like that. So it works almost everywhere. It's about the color, if it's like brownish dark or green dark, then that kind of colors eat the other colors.
Gotcha.
So it's still the best is to have some kind of lighter house facadas then. Like concrete is perfect, that kind of.
So that would get you better results for your light. What about
Yeah.
textured surfaces? You
Yeah,
know,
they're also really cool. Actually, I did when I was in textures. When you say that, like it's become like if I do on mountains, for example, that become really cool because become a depth in it. And what I was getting to was when I was in Calgary 3 weeks ago. I did it in a dome for the first time.
oh, cool.
So I could get you can kind of imagine it that it become, instead of if it's not straight projection, it becomes a bended
Yeah,
projection when you can light it up and down. So that was also a new thing. I get really hooked up now to present this kind of work in a dome. And there, of course, I mounted it on of course, but I mounted it on a tripod, the
hmm,
plate and the flashlight. So the visitor could both spin the plate in 360 degrees, and also with a camera tripod, you can, shine it in the roof. It's not called on a dome, but
yeah.
at the top of the dome and
The
the walls,
ceiling,
kind of.
yeah,
So.
yeah,
Ceiling, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I love the interactive approach you use in letting people become a part of it. I think that's really neat because it, well, like you mentioned before, just being a regular guy, and
Yeah.
you're showing people that it's not like a exclusive club. You can get your hands on there and people can do things and make things and create art.
Yeah. Also, I really like that, the first ones that always dare to interact with it a little is always kids. They run forward, and first you have their parents like, oh, wait. And then, no, they're allowed to.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you like that because I love seeing kids get excited about about anything, but especially about art, just as a way of experiencing the world and or expressing how they feel. So that
Yeah,
makes
and
me
also
happy.
to
Yeah.
show, yeah, and also to show, that it's like my installation is pretty reachable. You can order this prism online if you want and do it yourself. It's not like it's so hard maybe if you want to do light art to compete with a company that have projectors for, hundreds of thousands of dollars
Right. Right.
and computer programs and stuff. So I also like to show to kids and to people in general that you don't need so fucking much,
Yeah.
gear.
I love it. Yeah, because
to-
it's like you mentioned, it's kind of the punk rock attitude still. Like you don't have to have all the stuff. You can just use some simple stuff and do the thing.
Yeah, I did speaking about kids art, I did such a funny, at art university, all students, like you have to do some kind of exhibition
Hmm.
in school. And I've been blessed enough to be out working as an artist all the time. I've been in school, so I felt like, how should I do it? I didn't really felt to present there like that. So I thought, fuck, I call, because my mom is, now she's a pensionera, but she was a kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
So I called up. That that kindergarten that she was working on and asked if those kids there might want to do an art show in art school,
Yeah.
and they were on. So they painted paintings and stuff. They were between 2 and 6, I think, the
Yeah.
kids there.
Yeah.
And I put their paintings in the gallery instead.
That's
And
awesome.
I get them all, because you have this authenticity certificate for art.
Yeah.
So I get them all one of this, and that it was signed by the professor at school, that they have participated in that. So if just one of them maybe use it in future, because it's pretty cool to have done an art show when you're 4,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a pretty proper context, and
Yeah.
also to give back to my kind of hometown.
Yeah.
And they
I
were
like
so
that.
happy there, because I had them, of course, I had a vernissage for them, had a little, of course, not champagne, but in champagne glasses,
Yeah.
and we had some cookies,
Yeah. Yeah. That's so
But
cool,
it was
man.
such a punch in the face to all these, other art students that are so full of themselves. They're like, "What? He give you away? He give
I
this?"
know. I love it. I love it. Because it's for everyone. It's not just for
Exactly.
elitist. It's for people, all types of people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
And even if those kids don't pursue art, you've still
No,
done a
no.
great thing in their life. You've included them in something that may have seemed uh, unreachable. Like they were a part of something bigger, and you probably encouraged them and built their morale and character. So yeah, even if they don't pursue art, you've that type of thing really, I think, helps them grow their confidence and just become a stronger person.
Yeah, yeah, and it was also a lot about, to also show this other what a artist, because the town I'm from, like when I was little, like artist, you didn't know really what it was, so to speak. It was like a magician or something, this undefinable person
Yeah.
that what is something is. So I also want to show that this can be a regular dude that just
Yeah.
doing it, and it's not.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah.
relatable. You're relatable. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Have you heard back?
Hmm.
Have you heard from about any of those kids since then? Do you know if any of them have
Uh,
got interested in making more art?
No, but I have their like the names, and of course, you have to talk to parents and stuff. So everything
Of
this was
course.
okay. Like on
Sure.
that. So I also asked them if I can call them up in like 10 years and ask if they have done something with it, or what happened like that with it.
That's amazing.
So
I love that idea, man. I love it. It's I like the big picture, the long term picture you're having with that.
hmm.
Yeah, I've had to do
No,
that
but
myself too, even with this show, because I'm a pretty busy family guy, and I'm kind of coming to terms with I love doing the podcast, but I'm more like a part time podcaster is how I can fit it in with my life. And
yeah, yeah.
at first that bummed me out because I wanted to be more consistent and more frequent, but I'm just looking long term, big picture. Like the goal wasn't the consistency to begin with. The goal was to document amazing stories from amazing people and let that be there. As long as the internet is a thing, it'll be there, so they can share it with others, or other people may come across it and find it. It's more about the long term than the how many I can do this month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 exactly, man. Exactly, man. Like, it's also like we have in society today, I think, is such a wrong picture of what, a successful thing is, because it's so, weird with all these likes and stuff today. It's so false, everything like people buy likes, and it's,
Yeah, yeah,
how many, everyone would be famous if it would be
yeah,
like how these people you see on Instagram, like you have someone you have never heard of, and they have like 1 million followers, and they still have like whatever 20 likes then on their picture. It doesn't make sense, stuff.
yeah.
Same with streams and everything. It's I think as long as you're true to yourself, you're gonna win at the end and stay, with the content, whatever it is. At least you're gonna feel better in the end than to fake it, because you can't lie to yourself in the end.
Right,
You're
right. You might fool the whole world, but if you're fooling or not true to yourself, you're not doing a service to anyone, really.
no, no. And I also love that with your podcast that is kind of, I like the idea when you kind of genre into things, because that it's so easy today that stuff get drowned because it's so much of everything. So I like that what you're doing, in my opinion, is to creating a little awesome community also,
That's
where
the
people that
goal.
this
Yeah.
kind of stuff, yeah, can find each other and check each other out, and then maybe you contact someone you like there and you do some collab together or whatever. So I think you do an amazing thing with that. I like those kind of things that people can find, because you also think people that finds your podcast also are sweet people too, that because they are in more or less the same idea of
Yeah.
that.
Man, I'm glad you shared that with me, man. It makes me feel good because that was the goal to start the whole thing was, uh, well, like you said, you kind of got into synth during the pandemic, or and that's kind of when music revived for me as well. I played many years ago, and I got into it, and I met a lot of good people, and I just wanted to, make a, like you said, a community, platform for them to share, and a place for like-minded people to get acquainted with one another. And so I'm glad that's coming across, man. And I think that's what
Oh
it's
yeah,
about.
totally.
I'm not chasing commercial success. It's, to me, the
No.
more important thing is as you mentioned, the people, the community, and just getting to know each other and appreciate life and art.
Yeah, 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 totally.
So forgive me, I freaking lost my train of thought.
It is no problem.
It happens, and I don't edit, so it's all good. Everyone will
Yeah, I
know.
love it. I love that. It's also punk rock, man.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But excuse me. So, you before I forget, because I don't want to wrap it up later without doing this, but you want to go ahead and share where people can find you online, because you mentioned your website and obviously you're on Instagram. But yeah, let people know where they can find you if they're interested in what we're talking about.
Yeah. So if you want to check out my music, then I would suggest to go to Move Quiet Records. There, everything is my cassette, and there is also links to Bandcamp and stuff. Depends what people want, and if they want buy cassettes or stuff, you also available digital album like that. And if you want to check out my art, it's smartest, I think, to Google Lux Triplicata, because then it will come up a lot of stuff. And my webpage is johanfkällman.com. So Johan, like Johan, F, and then KALLMAN.com.
Cool. And after when we're done here, I'll have you text that to me and I'll write it in the notes too. That way it's
Oh, perfect. Fucking nice, man. Sweet.
yeah, yeah. Man, I'm. It's like I said, shared before with listeners that you and I were barely acquainted, so we're literally getting to know each other right now, and I really dig your perspective and your attitude and the way you're approaching what you do. So I really appreciate you being on here, and I'd love to in the future do some kind of project with you, man. That's would be
Oh yeah,
awesome.
man, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And right back at you, like awesome, like being really sweet. Like it feels like I talked to one of my buddies right now. So
Yeah, same, same. And
sweet.
you really got me interested in the work you do with the light art as well, because
Yeah.
rather than because I got a few little light things to play with, little cheap laser lights and stuff, but I love the tactile approach. Rather than having a device, you're constructing something, you're shining light on it, and it's very basic, but in a sense, but has such wonderful results. I really like that, and you really got me interested in maybe trying some similar things as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. We should definitely try to figure out some cool project to do together.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
if you get time, you should check out that like sending sound waves via light wave things I had, because I think you would really like that kind of thing. It's really cool.
Yeah,
It's
I am
also
going
in my
to.
website, pretty easy to find, so, or else I send you. But
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I am going to look into that because I was not familiar with that concept or that fact, I guess I should say. But
yeah,
combining them both, it sounds amazing. It also makes me think of maybe it's related, but how water has a memory, you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and it makes me think of that. Like, because it just there's the lines get blurry, you know, when when you start looking at how the universe works. It seems like so many things are interconnected, and it's just fascinating to me.
yeah, 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 yeah. 100 agree.
Yeah. Have you ever tried syncing your music to your art, like electronically, like where it's actually synced like you would with your synthesizers?
No, that I haven't. I haven't used the Volcas connecting to it at all, actually.
There's got to be a way if you could. I'm just brainstorming, but you know, like a trigger that would trigger the light, you know, off and on with the beat or something. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
got my brain turning.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep on braining it, and then maybe you come up with something, and then we have it.
Yeah, well, if I get a good idea, I'll let you know. You got all the gear. You can try it. So I want one of the first things I saw from you on Instagram was you jamming out to your Volcas. So share your setup and the devices you have and you use for your music making.
Yes, I have four Korg Volcas. So one is the Volca drum. Then I have the Volca new bass and the Volca sample and the Volca modular. And I connect that to a sound card. Yes, then the sound card is connected to the speaker system. So and when I record, I just connect the sound card or the mixer table to the computer. Then when
Mm,
I record it,
okay.
so pretty simple setup.
Yeah.
You can come so long with, for example, sampler that I finding sounds. I put them on, and you can shorten them or tweak them or whatever to find out some kind of rhythm and melody.
Yeah.
You know.
What kind of samples do you find yourself coming back to often? Would it be more musical type samples or field recording or found sounds? Like what do you are you into?
I try, like I would say, it's going periods. Like I had really this. Oh no, I lost the word. What is the Aborigines Australian instrument that? What is the?
The didgeridoo?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I was really into now for a while, been and trying to find different those kind of ensemble and to tweak them. I also use my bees a lot, like trying to do a little dubstep with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, more. Sometimes I also could make a sound like in a computer program, and then I send that to the sampler then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everything that I said, found sounds and some field recordings, and also I can go to a free download place also to find a dubstep wobble, for example, or
Yeah.
some bass line, and then I tweak it. So.
Maybe you should uh, release an EP with the Hive sounds, and you should just call it B side.
Yeah, I can be a BJ, a VJ
Yeah, BJ.
instead of G.
Perfect.
Could have a different meaning in other contexts also, maybe.
Well, it's like kind of like a dad joke, you know. It's you love it or hate
Yeah,
it, but
yeah, exactly.
I'm old enough. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, same. So good, good, good.
Yeah. Well,
No,
with
I actually have them in season like that. I did in a project at school. can be last I tell about the art project, but I record the sound of the hives from each season. So you can hear the, like, of course, in spring they are all waking up and are really happy, so to speak, and out
Yeah.
and collecting, And during the summer and how it slows down, during autumn, and then in the winter you just hear a really low buzzing in from the hives.
Do you have plans with to do something to do with those different seasonal recordings?
I did actually one where they shut me down and I almost got thrown out of art university because I put a big ass speaker up in one project room that we had, and I put it out to the inner yard,
Yeah.
and I and I put this buzzing on them and played, and it was so loud, and on the inner yard, it sounded like hell, like sound terror,
Yeah.
like with coming, and I just locked it up, and I went from there. So it kept on buzzing, for maybe 4 hours, and they call police and they call everything. Was a chaos when I get back.
Well, I thought that they were in support of art, so they.
Exactly. Was
Okay.
my response to it also.
So did you say you locked it up so no one could mess with it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And it was
perfect.
exactly like to prove my point, what I wanted with it. Like, you can't shut off nature like that. I know you try to control everything in nature, kind of, but you can't shut off bees.
Yeah.
Like, even if you try. So it was also a point of that kind of like to.
Yeah. Kind of like a hidden message within it. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that almost get me. It gets me in not a lot of trouble. You can get in much worse trouble than almost getting kicked out of art school. But it was funny because I didn't hurt anyone. You know what I mean? You can do
Yeah.
provocative art in much different ways than that. I didn't even find it very provocative, even if of course, I know, because I know the uptightness of these people. So I was pretty sure that it's going to be a reaction that would be that way.
I think that's part of what artists do, though. It makes people question or kind of pushes the boundaries and test things. With
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna definitely share that story with some friends because it's almost like it's like a art meets prank, but with a message.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
When you're talking about the sounds of the bees, the different seasons, and I asked if you're going to do something with it because I was thinking of perhaps making an album that would kind of be a auditory expression of the seasons, throughout the year with the different sounds of the bees, throughout the album.
Yeah. Fucking maybe there we have maybe a ground thought for our collab, you and me.
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be a uh, cool start with it.
yeah,
But yeah, it's definitely because I've been close so many times close to put it up, like just an EP then, like with the 4 seasons, and just have him. But I think actually, like, I don't like Spotify very much like that, but I don't think you could put it up there because they have these now filters kind of, so you can't put up like noise, for example, and then buy plays, for example, for it.
hmm.
So I don't know if it would work to put on Spotify. Definitely on Bandcamp and those places, it would work. But
Yeah, it definitely worked
it would
there.
be funny to have it in the faces of the.
Yeah,
uh, a little.
if you could get away with if you could get it on Spotify, and it'd be like just like playing it at the school again.
Yeah.
But on the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
man.
I like them. I actually did. I have played them on. I told you before. I had this student radio show about the sound art, and
Yeah.
of course I played myself there sometimes.
Hmm.
And then I played, for example, the spring season of Bees. That it was just Bees for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I would
And
listen to stuff like that. I don't know what kind of response you had to it on your radio show, but I like that kind of stuff.
yeah, it's also become kind of meditative after a while. If you sit and listen to it for 5 minutes, and when your ears getting adjusted, like especially with headphones, it could totally have something that you zone out somehow. So
Yeah. Yeah, my mind is just going nuts with ideas right now of bees, the bee sounds. Yeah,
Yeah, because it was also so cool because thanks to I had this mic, there's of course sometimes they crash into the mic and then it become left and right in the headphones also. So it was a really powerful experience with headphones actually because it really feels like they coming and flick your ear.
yeah, yeah. And you said right and left, so did you have a stereo setup?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Have you listened to, or do you have more than one hive?
Yeah, we have 10 now.
10. So have you
Yes.
listened to different ones simultaneously to see how similar they are, or are some of the bee groups a little bit different?
That I actually haven't done, and that's a great idea. I just took, I stick to the same now when I did it, and because I also filmed it for the project, so
Yeah,
it would be the same kind of frame of the picture. But that's a great idea. I haven't really thought of that. If you can hear a difference,
yeah,
because probably you can, because they speak to each other somehow, in these
yeah,
frequencies. So
yeah. So I'm not real educated on the bees, but I guess does every hive have their own queen in each?
oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Am I using the right term? The hive, the what do you call the boxes that you keep the
No,
bees in?
yeah, hives. I
Okay.
think that's the
Okay.
correct English also. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fascinating. I've never tried beekeeping, but it's been something I've looked at before because I'm interested in uh, kind of, I don't know what you would call it, like just more down to earth things like homesteading, gardening, things like that. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
the beekeeping is
And
interesting.
it's also, you have, of course, to have this, what they call uniform, this costume you put on, the beekeeper dress.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and it's also like they are you to 50 to 100,000 of bees in just one hive, and of course, when you fix in with them, they get a little pissed off and attacks you a little.
mm-hmm.
So you really can't think of anything else when you're working with the bees, so to speak. It's a
Yeah,
really peaceful experience in general because to us like they're not gonna sting like that
yeah,
because a lot of people are really afraid of bees
yeah.
or wasps and stuff like that. So,
That's an interesting explanation of when you're wearing the suit and the bees get on you, and you said it's so calm because you just focused on that one thing. It's like it draws you into the now moment in the present, and just
exactly.
your awareness. And that, for me, what I do on a regular basis is I find that when I ride motorcycles, because
Oh yeah,
to do it safely, you're totally in the moment, in the now, aware of you and the machine and the road and the traffic, and there's nothing else but just that moment. And it made me think of that, how it's everything else just fades away, and I understand what you're saying. It's such a calming, meditative, even refreshing kind of feeling.
yeah. It's very few things if you think of it today like that you only can do that. It's like you can only ride your bike at once. So you
Yeah,
can't like mix a drink at the same time. Probably you could, but you wouldn't like this.
yeah,
It's like I heard a funny thing about why it's less and less people reading books, the younger generations, kind of, because it was that you can only read a book when you're reading a book. You can have on a little music, of course, in the background or something, but younger people are so used to multitasking, you do a lot of shit at the same time.
yep, yep.
So I think it's to find this little, like you riding a motorbike or beekeeping, in these little moments where you just do this one thing. I think that is really important for us as humans in a way.
I agree. I agree, and I'm sure you'd agree that art is can be like that too when you
Yeah,
get into what you're doing, and that's what I love about playing music. Uh, I don't even really I don't write songs, and I don't even record very much, but I the highlight for me is just getting in that zone where it's just you and the sound and nothing else.
exactly. So.
Yeah, man. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I don't want to cut you off either. If there's anything else you want to share about, or uh,
Of,
or let people know about, because I feel like we've just been chatting for a few minutes, but it's been an hour already.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, people should take care of each other. They should, yeah, the classic one: treat other people like you want to be treated yourself, and yeah, try to spread positivity the much as you can to this world that it is today. Is my last words then. To,
I
if I send that, would say a message.
Yeah, I fully support that thought and those words. That's good. And I just thought of a question now. I'd like to ask you for an answer you can answer for other artists to encourage them whenever they or whenever you have hit a low spot or get stuck in your art. How do you get over that or get past that and get back in the flow?
Oof. It's like I think me myself when I hit those kind of places, I try to get inspired by other things. If I hit like a stop in music making, for example, like I can go. I'm a big hockey fan, for example. Then I can go to a hockey game, or yeah, I think the worst you can do is to try to force things to come. Of
Yeah,
course, you can also. It's also a cliche in one word to wait for inspirations to come because it also has to come with some work to put into it. Sometimes you have to push through a little also too.
yeah,
But you really feel when it is nothing there to put out. Then I recommend to do things that you like. Yeah, basically hang with nice people or maybe go out have a beer or
yeah,
and then it will come because it's like sometimes you can't sleep, but eventually you will fall asleep and eventually it will come back to you. It's when you think of stuff too much, I think, is when it's become problematic maybe.
yeah. I think that's really good advice, and I've heard similar responses from others as well. That sometimes you just have to wait for it and just entertain yourself with something else for a while.
Yep.
And I think that's a good reason to enjoy having more than one hobby instead of being like only all about one thing. Because
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
super important, especially as an artist, like that. Like you have to have all these little, like whatever things you do, and in this culture that is today, that is possible actually to do so much yourself. You don't need to outsource things, and thanks to that, you can learn a lot. Like
yeah,
just to design your website as an artist will make you that skill instead of giving that away to pay someone else to do stuff for you, because that's so easy today to pay someone to do everything for you in a way. So.
mm-hmm. That's true. Well, dude, thank you so much for reaching out and wanting to be on the show because I've had such a blast talking to you and getting acquainted with you, and I really appreciate everything you've shared today and about your art and your life and your perspectives. Just really appreciate it, and I really vibe with you, man. So I look forward to our continued friendship and staying in touch and finding some project to do in the future, man. I'm really feeling that with you,
Yeah, right back at you, man. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
dude. My pleasure, totally. Big love, brother, and you have a great weekend.